I yield my time.
Senator Schiff.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Szabo, is climate change real?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, the climate is changing.
Mr. Fatumi, the same question, climate change real?
Yes, Senator.
Mr. Szabo, would you agree that human activities contribute to climate change?
Senator, I believe there are many things that can create the climate to change themselves.
And that would include human activities, would it not?
In the aggregate, there's a potential impact from human activities on the climate.
And you would agree, Mr. Fatumi, that human activity contributes to changes in the climate?
Yes, Senator.
And some of those human activities include burning coal, oil, and gas, Mr. Szabo?
I believe there are many activities that can release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere in general.
Well, I'm asking you in particular, burning coal, burning oil, burning gas contributes to climate change, does it not?
Those activities do release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere.
Mr. Fatumi, you would agree that burning coal, oil, and gas contributes to climate change?
Senator, emission of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere has plays a role and does contribute to the changing climate.
And in particular, burning coal, oil, and gas contributes to climate change?
Senator, those activities, depending on how they're undertaken, can result in the emission of greenhouse gases, yes, including methane.
And in trying to address climate change, would you agree that trying to reduce our reliance on coal, oil, and gas as they are contributors to climate change makes sense, Mr. Szabo?
I believe that it's important that we adapt to any changes, including those with respect to the climate, and I believe that the American people can adapt to those changes.
That's a bit of a murky answer. If coal, oil, and gas are contributing to climate change, would you agree that one strategy to address climate change would be to reduce our reliance on coal, oil, and gas?
I believe, once again, that we can adapt to the potential impacts to climate change without causing potential issues to our reliance on our natural resources within this country.
I'm not sure I understand that answer. If coal, oil, and gas are contributing to climate change, would it make sense as part of our strategy to address climate change to reduce our reliance on coal, oil, and gas? Yes or no?
Senator, I think it's important to take with respect to the potential impacts from those sources of emissions with respect to the global nature of any with climate change and consider that with respect to any policy positions moving forward.
I'm still having trouble understanding your answer. Should we reduce the consumption, the burning of coal, oil, and gas as part of a strategy to mitigate climate change? Yes or no?
Senator, I believe that it's important that we follow the law with respect to any actions we take. If Congress wishes for us to take a different action on climate change, I would leave that into the decision of those in Congress about what policies the United States would take with respect to that.
But as a potential top official in the EPA, you would agree, would you not, that if coal, oil, and gas contribute to climate change, and climate change is resulting in horrendous fires like we had in Los Angeles and stronger hurricanes and more flooding, that one part of a sensible approach to dealing with climate change would be to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels that are contributing to that crisis. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Senator, I'd say the wildfires in California were very tragic. There were many reasons as to what the result of why those wildfires occurred in and of themselves.
Mr. Szabo, do you think the oil industry has a disproportionate impact on our ability, willingness to speak plainly about climate change? You seem to be having difficulty Does the oil industry exert too great an influence on our policy dealing with climate change such that you can't answer that question?
No, and I am curious if you are insinuating that I'm somehow under the influence of the oil and natural gas industry. I've been consulting with career ethics officials.
I think this whole Congress is under the influence of the oil, coal, and gas industry. That makes it so difficult to answer a simple question about if these are contributors to climate change. Wouldn't a sensible policy be to reduce our reliance on them? There is some explanation for why that question is difficult to answer, and it is not science. I yield back.